stop scrolling. January 18th carries a charge most people overlook. This day isn't ordinary. It sits at a point of alignment, where intention meets momentum. When alignment rises, words stop being casual. They become forces that shape direction and outcome. Spoken words shape focus. Focus directs action. Action decides financial outcomes. This is why words spoken with intention on the right day can create real movement, not by luck, not by chance, but through clarity and alignment working together. Many people struggle financially, not because effort is missing, but because direction stays scattered. The mind pulls one way, fear pulls another, doubt slows every step. Money responds to this confusion by staying distant. Declarations cut through that noise and bring the mind back into one clear line. Declarations are not magic phrases. They don't bend reality instantly. They work deeper than that. They command the mind, sharpen focus, and push action forward without hesitation. When spoken with presence, they remove inner resistance and prepare you to recognize opportunity the moment it appears. January 18th amplifies this process. Energy shifts from planning to execution, from hesitation to decision, from waiting to opening. In this video, you will learn 4 powerful declarations designed to unlock hidden financial blocks and align your thoughts, emotions, and actions into one direction. Stay until the end, because this isn't about motivation, it's about clarity most people never receive. Once alignment locks in, doors begin to open quietly, and money starts responding to movement. Welcome to Shaolin Divine Flow, a space for discipline, clarity, and inner power. Subscribe now and step into the flow where intention becomes action. Most people don't block money on purpose. It happens quietly, internally, and without awareness. The first hidden blocker is fear. Fear of losing, fear of failing again, fear of the responsibility that comes with growth. When fear leads, hesitation enters, and money responds to that hesitation by slowing down. Opportunity moves toward confidence, not tension. Then doubt slips in, not loud doubt, but subtle doubt. The kind that whispers, maybe later, or this isn't meant for me. Doubt weakens decisions before they are even made. It scatters focus and drains momentum. When decisions lose strength, direction becomes unclear, and money avoids unclear paths. The strongest blocker is emotional clutter, unreleased stress, old disappointments, and financial memories tied to shame or struggle quietly fill the mind. Every unresolved emotion takes up space. A crowded mind cannot think clearly, choose wisely, or recognize opportunity when it appears. Money flows toward clarity and calm direction, not emotional noise. This is why effort alone doesn't guarantee results. 2 people can work just as hard, yet one moves forward while the other remains stuck. The difference isn't effort, it's internal alignment. Fear tightens the body, doubt scatters attention. Emotional clutter drains energy before action even begins. Most people never realize this is happening. They blame timing, luck, or circumstances. But money isn't avoiding effort, it avoids confusion. When fear releases, decisions sharpen. When doubt fades, focus strengthens. When emotional clutter clears, opportunity becomes visible. Change begins inside. Because once inner blocks loosen, movement becomes natural, and money no longer feels distant. Every new financial cycle creates a brief window where direction can be reset. This is when the mind is most open to change. Patterns loosen. Old habits weaken. Speaking declarations at this moment is powerful because the mind is listening more closely than usual. Words spoken here don't float away. They settle in. Declarations work because they interrupt autopilot. Most people run on unconscious scripts formed by past experiences. The same fears, the same limits, the same reactions. A declaration spoken with intention breaks that loop and replaces it with a new command. It tells the mind where to aim and what to prioritize. At the start of a financial cycle, attention sharpens. Goals feel closer. Awareness increases. This is when spoken words shape perception. When perception shifts, choices shift. When choices shift, outcomes follow. Declarations act like a compass, aligning thought, emotion, and action in one direction. The voice carries authority, the mind responds to. Silent thoughts fade quickly. Spoken words leave an imprint. They activate focus, reinforce belief, and create inner agreement. Once the inner world agrees, hesitation drops. Action feels lighter. Decisions feel clearer. This is why repetition matters. Speaking the same declaration daily strengthens its command. The mind starts filtering opportunities differently. Possibilities that once went unnoticed begin to stand out. Conversations change. Reactions change. Movement becomes natural instead of forced. A declaration is not about controlling the future. It's about controlling direction. It removes inner conflict, so energy stops leaking. When energy stays centered, effort becomes effective. Small actions begin to carry weight. At the start of a new cycle, words become seeds. Planted early, they shape the season ahead. This is where intention turns into momentum, and momentum begins opening paths that were always there but never seen. January 18th carries a different rhythm. The energy shifts from preparation to execution. This is not a day designed for hesitation or overthinking. It's a day that responds to movement. Waiting on this day weakens momentum, while action strengthens it. Even small steps taken now carry unusual weight. Many people delay progress by waiting for certainty. They wait for perfect timing, perfect confidence, perfect conditions. January 18th challenges that pattern. It rewards motion over perfection. The moment you move, clarity follows. Direction sharpens after action begins, not before. This is why ideas that stay in the mind feel heavy. Once acted upon, they feel lighter. Energy flows when movement starts. Stagnation creates pressure. January 18th releases that pressure through forward motion. Calls made today feel easier. Decisions made today feel cleaner. Commitments made today create traction. Movement doesn't mean rushing. It means responding. Responding to inner nudges. Responding to opportunities already present. When action aligns with intention, resistance dissolves. This is where progress feels natural instead of forced. Money responds to movement because movement signals readiness. It shows willingness to engage, adjust, and grow. Waiting sends mixed signals. It suggests hesitation. January 18th amplifies whatever signal you send. Motion multiplies. Delay weakens. This is also a day to release passive thinking. Hoping without acting drains energy. Planning without executing builds frustration. Movement restores balance. It turns intention into experience. Even one decisive step today can unlock a chain reaction. A message sent, a decision made, a boundary set. Momentum doesn't ask for size. It asks for direction. January 18th is not about standing still and watching. It's about stepping forward and allowing the path to respond. Inner resistance rarely announces itself. It doesn't shout or create chaos. It works quietly in the background, shaping hesitation, delaying decisions, and draining momentum. It appears as overthinking, self-doubt, or the feeling of being almost ready. Each time resistance speaks, a door that could open stays closed a little longer. This resistance is often built from past experiences, moments of loss, times when effort didn't pay off. The mind remembers and tries to protect itself. But protection can turn into limitation. Instead of keeping you safe, resistance keeps you small. Money feels this pullback. Opportunity senses the pause. Inner resistance creates mixed signals. Part of you moves forward. Another part pulls back. When direction splits, progress slows. Life responds to clarity, not conflict. Doors open when energy moves cleanly in one direction. This is why the first declaration matters so deeply. It is designed to release that silent tension. I release all resistance to money and success. These words are not about forcing belief. They are about permission. Permission to stop fighting growth. Permission to let go of old fears that no longer serve you. When spoken with presence, this declaration tells the mind it no longer needs to guard against possibility. Releasing resistance doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing openness over defense. The body relaxes. The mind softens. Decisions feel less heavy. Action feels more natural. As resistance loosens, attention shifts. Instead of scanning for risk, the mind starts recognizing opportunity. Instead of bracing for disappointment, it becomes available for progress. This declaration clears the internal doorway first. And when the inner door opens, the outer doors begin responding in ways that feel timely, supportive, and aligned. Emotions carry energy. Unexpressed stress, frustration, or disappointment creates blockages that the mind and body feel, even if they go unnoticed. Every unresolved feeling acts like a dam, slowing the natural flow of opportunity. Money, clarity, and progress move toward energy that is free and open. When emotions remain trapped, they weigh down every action and cloud every decision. Releasing these emotions is not about forcing them away or pretending they don't exist. It's about acknowledgement, acceptance, and letting them move through. Tears, breath, journaling, or simply speaking aloud can shift the energy. Each act of release lightens the internal load. The mind begins to breathe. The body relaxes. The path ahead becomes clearer. Energetic flow follows emotional release. Once tension is lifted, attention sharpens. Focus aligns with intention. Decisions feel intuitive. Movement becomes easier. Obstacles that once felt immovable now appear manageable, simply because the energy surrounding them is lighter, more receptive, and less resistant. This is where declarations amplify their effect. Words spoken with presence interact with the emotional state, saying, "I release all resistance to money and success," while acknowledging fear or tension allows energy to move instead of stagnating. The declaration becomes more than words. It becomes a tool to transform inner blockages into momentum. Flow doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It responds to readiness. Emotional release creates that readiness. Each release sends a signal outward. The mind is clear, the body is available, and the spirit is willing. Opportunity begins to resonate with this openness. Small shifts compound into noticeable movement. Actions that once felt heavy now carry weight and direction. When emotional clutter clears, energy moves naturally. It draws situations, people, and resources into alignment. The inner release becomes a magnet, not just for clarity, but for tangible progress. Momentum grows quietly but powerfully, setting the stage for every declaration, every step, and every door that is about to open. Money rarely follows a straight line. It doesn't always arrive when, where, or how it is expected. Most people plan for income in predictable ways, jobs, clients, or investments. But the universe works differently. Opportunities appear through conversations, small ideas, sudden insights, or even chance encounters. These paths often feel indirect, but they carry energy that aligns with readiness and action. The mind wants control. It wants to see the route clearly before stepping forward. But this desire for control can block the very flow money travels on. When rigidity meets opportunity, timing gets missed. When flexibility meets opportunity, doors that were invisible suddenly appear. Money is drawn to movement, clarity, and alignment, not to schedules or expectations. This is why the second declaration is essential. I align with opportunities I cannot see yet. Saying this shifts the mind from limitation to openness. It trains attention to notice possibilities that would otherwise go unnoticed. It allows the mind to relax its grip on how things should happen and instead focus on readiness to receive. Unexpected paths often feel risky because they require trust. Trust that what appears, even in small, unusual ways, can lead to growth. This trust multiplies the energy around intention. It makes decisions lighter. Hesitation fades. The flow of opportunity accelerates. When the mind resists the unknown, doors stay closed. When the mind opens, pathways emerge. Conversations with strangers, sudden invitations, or ideas sparked in quiet moments can turn into financial gains. These moments rarely announce themselves as wealth opportunities. They arrive quietly, often disguised as challenges, learning experiences, or coincidences. By aligning with what cannot yet be seen, attention shifts from control to perception. The mind becomes a radar, detecting signals others overlook. And as signals are noticed, decisions become faster, actions stronger, and movement inevitable. The flow of money begins to match the flow of energy already being cultivated. The second declaration carries a quiet power. I align with opportunities I cannot see yet. These words are not about predicting the future. They are about preparing the mind and heart to recognize opportunity when it arrives, even in forms that surprise or challenge expectation. Alignment shifts focus from desperation to presence. It signals readiness, not anxiety. Trusting timing is the hidden force behind this declaration. Many people act too early or too late because they try to force outcomes. When action is driven by desperation, energy becomes scattered. Decisions feel heavy, and opportunity seems to retreat. Timing cannot be hurried. It responds to calm, attentive energy. Speaking this declaration daily tunes the mind to notice subtle openings, small nudges, unexpected conversations, and quiet inspirations begin to carry meaning. The mind often confuses patience with waiting. Patience here is not passive, it is active alignment. It is saying yes to the moment while maintaining confidence that the right steps will be revealed. This trust reduces stress and sharpens awareness. Actions taken from a place of calm and certainty are more powerful than rushed attempts fueled by fear. Saying, I align with opportunities I cannot see yet, reminds the mind that control is limited but influence is not. You cannot control when or how opportunity arrives, but you can control readiness, focus, and perception. This clarity opens channels for energy to flow. Doors begin to respond quietly but consistently, favoring those prepared to move. Desperation closes doors. Trust opens them. Each repetition of this declaration deepens inner calm, strengthens attention, and builds confidence. Over time, the mind begins to recognize patterns, signals, and cues it once missed. What seemed uncertain becomes noticeable. What seemed distant begins to feel near. Energy shifts, momentum grows, and the flow of opportunity begins to meet intention naturally. Money is drawn to readiness. It seeks clarity, focus, and alignment. When the mind is scattered, uncertain, or unprepared, opportunities pass by unnoticed, and potential gains slip away. Most people wonder why income feels stagnant, yet they rarely examine the inner state that determines flow. Wealth is not just a reward for effort, it is a response to preparedness. An unprepared mind carries hesitation. It second-guesses every decision. It measures risk excessively and holds back action. This internal friction creates a barrier between intention and result. Money, like energy, moves toward ease and confidence. When the mind signals doubt or confusion, doors remain closed, not because wealth is scarce, but because the recipient is misaligned with its arrival. Preparation is more than skill or knowledge. It is emotional readiness, mental clarity, and the ability to receive. Without these, opportunities may appear, but they feel heavy, risky, or overwhelming. The mind resists movement, and action is delayed. Even when circumstances are favorable, indecision blocks the natural path of progress. This is why the third declaration is so powerful. I become a person who handles wealth wisely. Speaking these words reshapes identity. It trains the mind to see abundance not as a threat, but as a responsibility to navigate with discipline and awareness. It signals readiness, not greed, focus, not fear. Wealth responds to those who are prepared to manage it, nurture it, and direct it wisely. Preparation creates confidence. Confidence invites action. Action generates results. Without preparation, effort becomes friction. With it, effort becomes leverage. The inner shift is subtle but profound. When the mind aligns with readiness, hesitation fades. Opportunities that once felt intimidating now appear manageable. Doors begin to open naturally, guided by the energy of competence and calm. Money flows toward those who demonstrate the capacity to receive and the wisdom to act, turning potential into tangible progress. The third declaration is a turning point. I become a person who handles wealth wisely. These words are not about chasing money. They are about shaping the person who is capable of receiving it. Income always follows identity. Before wealth can arrive, the mind, heart, and habits must expand to match it. Without this shift, opportunities may appear, but they are missed or mismanaged. Identity is formed by thought patterns, beliefs, and repeated actions. Most people carry unconscious ideas that limit growth, beliefs that say money is scarce, that success is risky, or that abundance comes with guilt. These patterns quietly repel opportunity no matter how hard effort pushes. Speaking this declaration begins to rewrite the internal narrative. It tells the mind and body that growth is not dangerous, that abundance is deserved, and that capability exists to navigate wealth responsibly. This is not about forcing a false confidence. It is about stepping into truth. Each repetition strengthens the sense of readiness. Each spoken word reinforces the belief that financial wisdom is part of who you are becoming. Over time, the mind begins to notice opportunities that align with this new identity. Decisions become calmer, more precise, and less reactive. Actions carry authority because they flow from self-trust rather than desperation. The shift in identity transforms perspective. Scarcity thinking fades, fear of failure softens. The mind focuses on possibilities rather than limitations. When identity aligns with abundance, energy aligns too. Actions begin to match intention, and doors that were once closed start to respond. Income always mirrors identity. When the person inside becomes capable, the world outside begins to reflect that change. This declaration bridges the gap between who you are and what you can receive. It prepares the mind, strengthens focus, and creates an energetic alignment where opportunities are not just noticed, they are acted upon with clarity and confidence. Declarations hold power, but they are not complete without action. Words alone can shift mindset and align energy, yet without movement, their impact remains contained within the mind. Speaking a declaration is like setting a compass. Action is the step that allows the path to unfold. Without that step, intention lingers as potential, but potential alone does not create change. Many people stop at the declaration, hoping energy will carry results to them. They repeat affirmations, speak intentions, and visualize outcomes, but fear or hesitation prevents them from taking even small steps forward. When action is missing, momentum stalls. Opportunity passes quietly, unnoticed or ignored, because the world responds to movement as much as it does to belief. Action gives declarations weight. It translates internal alignment into external reality. Even small, consistent steps show the mind and the universe that readiness is real. When declarations meet effort, energy begins to circulate. Confidence grows. Doors that seemed locked begin to shift. Hesitation fades because the body reinforces the mind's intentions. This is why the fourth declaration exists. I take inspired action without fear. It acknowledges the necessity of movement. It reminds the mind that clarity and alignment must be accompanied by willingness to engage with the unknown. Fear often disguises itself as prudence or caution, but it quietly blocks progress. Speaking this declaration primes the mind to act decisively, while simultaneously calming resistance and uncertainty. Declarations without action are like seeds buried too deep. They may have potential, but they cannot grow. Action opens the soil. Action nurtures momentum. Action signals readiness. When words and deeds move together, energy flows naturally. Decisions become clear, and opportunity begins to respond in tangible ways. Movement transforms belief into reality, bridging the gap between intention and results. The fourth declaration carries a force that transforms possibility into reality. I take inspired action without fear. Courage is the multiplier of financial energy. It is the bridge between intention and result, the spark that turns alignment into tangible progress. Without courage, even the clearest declarations remain ideas. With it, doors begin to respond. Opportunities unfold and momentum accelerates. Fear often disguises itself as caution, hesitation, or overthinking. It whispers doubts about timing, ability, or worthiness. Every pause created by fear delays opportunity. Every second spent questioning drains energy from movement. Courage does not remove risk, but it shifts the relationship with it. It allows action to flow from clarity rather than avoidance, from readiness rather than desperation. Speaking this declaration reminds the mind that readiness alone is not enough. Energy must meet action, and action must be fearless. Courage amplifies effort because it signals to the inner self and the external world that you are aligned, decisive, and capable. When energy meets courage, hesitation dissolves and doors that seemed firmly closed begin to open. Courage is also contagious. It shapes the way others respond to you, the confidence in negotiations, the clarity in decisions, and the resilience to follow through even when the path is uncertain. Every bold step taken amplifies the momentum already built by the previous declarations. Each act of fearless action reinforces alignment, making the flow of opportunity stronger and more noticeable. This declaration is not about recklessness. It is about measured, intentional, inspired action taken from a place of inner clarity. When repeated and embodied, it transforms identity into movement, intention into execution, and readiness into results. Courage turns declarations from words into energy that moves through the world, creating financial alignment that grows exponentially, quietly but powerfully with each step forward. Speaking declarations is not about volume or speed. It is about presence, clarity, and intention. The tone carries energy. A calm, steady voice communicates certainty to the mind and body. Rushed words scatter focus, while slow, deliberate speech allows the mind to absorb each phrase. Presence ensures that the declaration is not just heard but felt at a deeper level, embedding belief into both thought and emotion. Repetition is a cornerstone of this practice. Saying a declaration once may plant a seed, but repeating it strengthens the root. Each repetition reinforces alignment, gradually reshaping thought patterns and internal energy. The mind begins to recognize the declaration as truth, not just aspiration. With consistency, resistance weakens, doubt softens, and momentum builds naturally. Timing matters too. Speak declarations when the mind is calm and receptive, such as early morning or before sleep. In these moments, distractions fade and attention sharpens. The quiet allows words to resonate, creating a feedback loop between intention and energy. Repeating declarations during these periods magnifies their impact. Presence also extends beyond words. It is the way the body aligns with intention, the posture, the breath, the focus. Straighten the spine, breathe deeply, and speak from a place of centered energy. When the body mirrors the declaration, the mind recognizes alignment and the energy becomes cohesive. Visualizing the impact of the declaration as it is spoken can further enhance its effect. Imagine opportunities flowing, obstacles clearing, and action becoming natural. Let the mind feel the shift as if it is already happening. Through careful tone, steady presence, and deliberate repetition, declarations move beyond statements into lived energy. They shift internal alignment, sharpen focus, and prepare the mind to recognize and act on opportunities. When spoken correctly, declarations become more than words. They become instruments that open doors, clear resistance, and create momentum that aligns with intention naturally and powerfully. The timing of declarations on January 18th can magnify their impact. Energy on this day flows in waves, and aligning speech with those waves creates resonance that carries beyond thought alone. Early morning, just as the mind begins to awaken, is one of the most powerful times. The day is fresh, the mind uncluttered, and intention can take root before distractions arise. Speaking declarations at this hour sets the tone for the entire day, allowing actions, decisions, and opportunities to align with energy that is calm, focused, and receptive. Evening, before sleep, is equally potent. The mind transitions into a state where it absorbs experiences, beliefs, and intentions more deeply. Words spoken at this time settle into the subconscious, reinforcing alignment while the body rests. Repetition of declarations during these quiet hours strengthens belief, clears lingering doubts, and signals readiness to receive opportunities as the next day begins. Consistency throughout the day adds another layer of power. Short, mindful repetitions during moments of stillness, pauses between tasks, brief walks, or quiet reflection keep intention active. Each repetition acts like a pulse, reinforcing energy and creating a steady flow that momentum can follow. The mind starts noticing possibilities that would otherwise go unnoticed, and action becomes more intuitive and confident. Environmental factors can enhance the practice. A quiet space, minimal distractions, and a posture that encourages alertness and presence deepen the effect. Breathing steadily while speaking ensures energy circulates to both body and mind. Feeling the words as you speak, imagining their impact, and sensing opportunities flowing toward you aligns the internal and external simultaneously. Timing transforms declarations from words into living energy. When spoken at the right moments on January 18th, declarations set intention into motion, synchronize mind and body, and prime the day for movement. Energy begins to respond naturally, doors start to shift, and the mind becomes attuned to recognizing and acting on opportunities that align with purpose, clarity, and momentum. Today, you've learned the 4 declarations that open every financial door: releasing resistance, aligning with unseen opportunities, becoming a person who handles wealth wisely, and taking inspired action without fear. Each one builds on the other, creating a flow of energy, clarity, and readiness. Together, they prepare your mind, heart, and actions to receive the abundance that has always been waiting. Speak them with presence. Feel them in your body. Repeat them with intention. Let resistance fade. Let doubt soften. And let courage guide your steps. As these declarations align within you, doors begin to shift quietly, opportunities become visible, and movement feels natural. You are no longer waiting, you are ready, you are aligned, you are in flow. If this message resonated, like the video and subscribe to Shaolin Divine Flow. Step into the energy of clarity and intention with us, and carry this practice into every new day. Remember this: abundance follows readiness. When your mind is clear, your energy is free, and your actions are fearless, the universe moves with you. Today, choose alignment. Today, choose courage. Today, step forward and watch how every door begins to open.